Very good morning and welcome back. So today we will start our unit 4, which is on quantum mechanics, and we will try to finish this unit within 5 lectures. And lecture 1, we will try to cover the first two topics of the contents, introduction and the wave equation. The wave equation we are all familiar with. We have done wave equation in our last semester. So let's start with the introduction to quantum mechanics. So classical mechanics, we also call it as a Newtonian mechanics, could not explain a few phenomena, like it could not explain the radiation pattern or the black body radiation diagram which we got for black body radiations. It could not account for photoelectric effect, that why only certain frequencies are emitted from a metal surface. It could not explain the type of result we got for Young's double slit experiment with electrons. So you can refer your book that if you are using electrons in place of photons for double slit experiment, even electrons show an interference pattern. So particles are interfering. It means particles are behaving as wave particle duality. The classical mechanics could not account for that as well. Also, the classical mechanics could not explain the type of spectra which is called as emission and absorption spectra, which we got for hydrogen and other gases. It was having some discrete spectral lines which were either missing in form of absorption spectra or they were present in form of emission spectra. So it was clear that the type of knowledge we have, the type of physics we know right now is not complete. Therefore, Planck and Bohr put an effort to find out new physics. Just like what I told you in the last unit also, that Bohr tried to revolutionize the physics by introducing new type of physics, that is the governing mathematical equations which can account for, which can explain the above four phenomena: the black body, photoelectric, Young's double slit, and emission and absorption spectra. So to account for these two issues, a new type of mathematical physics, or we can say new type of equations, were given, but that, as it was given by Bohr and Planck, was not complete, because it was just said that if we are correcting the physics in this particular way, then we can get the right answers. But why such a type of thing was happening, it could not be accounted by Bohr. So Bohr's model was not complete. Why Bohr's model was not complete is because of these three reasons. So you can be asked in your exam or in some of the interviews that what were the limitations of Bohr's model or Bohr's atomic model. The very first is that the Bohr's theory applies only to hydrogen atom or type of atoms in which there is only one electron. Only one electron, even not helium atoms, जिसमें दो electrons होते हैं. So Bohr's theory applies to only certain type of ions and atoms. तो जब मैं कह रहा हूँ कि only those atoms which have only one electron, it means they automatically become ions. बाकी सारे electrons we have anyways taken out of that atom, so it will become ionized. Second thing is that Bohr's theory cannot explain why some spectral lines were more intense. Like some of the spectral lines were really bright, और वो brightness इतनी ज़्यादा क्यों है और कुछ की as compared to this one brightness कम क्यों है, Bohr's theory could not explain that. And Bohr's theory can also not explain how one atom will interact with the other. So all what Newton's and Bohr theory could not explain was attempted by Erwin Schrödinger, Werner Heisenberg, Max Born, Paul Dirac, and various other scientists. And their collective efforts confined in the form of mathematical equations is called as quantum mechanics. So we have new form of physics which is very different from the Newton's mechanics, and we call it as quantum mechanics. Okay, so as some of you asked me, sir, what exactly is quantum mechanics? I did a few Google search and I found a very interesting answer from Richard Muller, who is a professor in UC Berkeley. He suggests that the basic difference between the quantum mechanics and the Newtonian mechanics is the difference what they describe. When you are dealing with Newtonian mechanics, you are actually trying to find out velocity, acceleration, momentum. But when you are dealing with quantum mechanics, you're only finding out the probabilities. Okay, so it is the difference between what they describe. But the more accurate answer we can get from Professor Richard Muller, who says that classical physics is causal. Causal means if something is happening, you know why it is happening. So that we call it as it is causal. And if it is causal, then the complete knowledge of past allows computation of the future. अगर आपके पास पता है velocity इतनी है, mass इतना है, acceleration इतना है, so you can find out the other equation of motions, or what would be the state of motion of that particle in future. You can compute it. Okay, I'm using the term compute. Likewise, complete knowledge of future allows precise computation of the past. अगर अभी हमें पता है या बाद में बाद की चीजें हमें पता है, तो we can actually trace back what was the initial condition through which this particular phenomena would have occurred. Okay, so professor says that chaos theory is irrelevant to this statement because it talks only about how well can you can you compute information with incomplete knowledge. So, chaos theory को नहीं लाते हैं बीच में. Causal theory हम लाते हैं. You have complete information about something, तो आप उसके present, past, future सब कुछ को बता सकते हैं. Classical mechanics में, quantum mechanics में it is not so. Quantum mechanics में we know that the objects which we are concerned with are not at all particles, not fully particles, and they are also not fully waves. So they are neither particles nor waves. They're a strange combination of both. So given complete knowledge of the past, if you know that this has occurred in the past, we can only make probabilistic predictions of the future. हम बोल नहीं सकते कि this is going to happen. We can only say this might happen in quantum mechanics. Okay. For example, you can take an example of tunneling through a barrier. So, for example, you are throwing a ball on a wall. एक टेनिस बॉल है, आपने दीवार पर उसे फेंका है. क्लासिकल फिजिक्स सेज दैट दीवार इतनी सख्त होती है कि, और सख्त दीवार है, मान लीजिए ब्रिक वाली वॉल है, दैट योर बॉल विल जस्ट स्ट्राइक बैक, दीवार से टकरा कर वापस आ जाएगी. क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स सेज नो, देयर इज although very little 0.00001% probability, but there is a probability that that wall will be like, जो बॉल है वो उस दीवार के पार चली जाएगी. So this is probability, and quantum mechanics deal with such type of absolute probabilities. Moving ahead, in classical physics, if we have two bombs with identical fuses, मतलब हमने ये तय कर रखा है कि एक ही समय पर एक ही बॉम्ब को एक्सप्लोड करना है, तो classically it is possible. But when you are talking about very minute particles, so bomb is not subatomic और एटॉमिक इवन, वो तो मैक्रो स्केल पर है, उसका साइज बड़ा है, आप आंखों से देख सकते हैं. वहीं अगर आप क्वांटम फिजिक्स में आ जाएं और केवल न्यूक्लियस के फटने की, जिसको कि हम न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन या रेडियोएक्टिव डिके बोलते हैं, उसकी बात करें, तो दो आइडेंटिकल रेडियोएक्टिव न्यूक्लियाई हैं, यूरेनियम 238, यूरेनियम 238, दोनों आइडेंटिकल हैं और दोनों की डिके होने की प्रोबेबिलिटी विल बी डिफरेंट. ओके, सो ऑन एन एवरेज these two identical atoms will undergo radioactive decay separated by billions of years. एक कर सकता है, अभी हो सकता है उसका जो न्यूक्लियस है वो डिके हो जाए, दूसरे का हो सकता है करीब 100 करोड़ साल बाद डिके हो, और दोनों सिस्टम आइडेंटिकल थे. सो दैट्स व्हाई देयर कम्स अ कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटी. आपने दो बम लिए हैं, दोनों के फ्यूजेस सही हैं, मतलब वो फुस वाले बम नहीं जो दिवाली पर आते हैं. यू हैव पर्टिकुलर बम विथ टाइट फ्यूजेस, आप एक्सप्लोड करना चाहते हैं, जस्ट अ मैटर ऑफ क्लिकिंग अ बटन, both bomb will explode simultaneously. Not so in subatomic or nuclear scale. So another, the thumb rule, which can be treated as a difference between classical and quantum physics, is the appearance of Planck's constant. So whenever you see h cross or h coming in equations, it means that you are now already have dived into the quantum physics or quantum mechanics. If it does not, it means the h cross or h is missing, so you can say that you are still dealing with classical physics. So it is just a thumb rule. Sometimes h cross may be just omitted out by using some notation, so but this is a thumb rule that if Planck's constant appears, it means you are already in quantum scale. Most physicists believe that quantum mechanics is the right theory, but not the complete theory. It is right because it explains almost everything around us, which was first explained by classical physics, and some of the things which could not be explained by classical physics. Quantum mechanics account well for all those. So also we know that classical physics can be derived from quantum physics in particular limit. हमने last time correspondence principle पढ़ा था that if your quantum number n is very very large, then your quantum physics will give rise to results same as the classical physics. Okay, so these were a few points in order to explain how quantum and classical physics are different from each other. Okay, so the points to ponder, I can say, is that in Newtonian mechanics, we are concerned with finding the position, velocity, and other physical parameters related to the mechanics of a particle. We want momentum, linear momentum, angular momentum, position, velocity. We just want that. Whereas in quantum mechanics, we are just dealing with finding out the wave function, or in precise, the probability density of the wave function, which has no physical interpretation, because psi has no physical interpretation. That's why we calculate psi square. Okay, ये हमने wave mechanics में पढ़ा था. We are interested in finding out the psi square or mod psi square. और mod psi square calculate करने के बाद बाकी जितने भी classical parameters जैसे momentum है, angular momentum है, velocity है, that can be calculated using that psi only. So the type of problem which we'll get in quantum mechanics is to determine the wave function of a body when its freedom of motion is limited by action of external forces. जैसे कि मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया था that confinement brings rise to या give rise to quantumness. If you are restricting the motion of a free particle by applying some external forces, and the particle is very microscale or nanoscale particle, you will have to apply quantum mechanics. Classical mechanics will not help anyways. Okay, so because that were a few important points which I wanted you to note down, that's why I zoomed in the screen. Okay. Another thing which we have to deal with is that what is the nature of the wave function. So wave functions are usually complex. It means वो जो भी क्वांटिटीज हैं उनमें रियल और इमेजिनरी पार्ट दोनों ही होते हैं. सो दिस इज वेरी 12th क्लास मैथमेटिक्स. यू नो दैट इफ आई रिप्रेजेंट साई इज इक्वल्स टू a plus ib, a is the real part, b is the imaginary part. So our wave functions are actually complex. Okay, and the probability of that particular wave function which you are going to find out will be real. So it would be the modulus of the wave function square. So the probability density or the probability is modulus of wave function square. तो स्क्वायर का मतलब हुआ या हम उसे कॉम्प्लेक्स कॉन्जुगेट से मल्टीप्लाई करने के बाद जो वैल्यू आएगी उसे प्रोबेबिलिटी बोल सकते हैं. सो योर साई डैश इज द कॉम्प्लेक्स कॉन्जुगेट कैलकुलेटेड एज, अगर हमारे पास एक कॉम्प्लेक्स क्वांटिटी है a प्लस आई बी तो उसका कॉन्जुगेट होता है a माइनस आई बी. यू मल्टीप्लाई द टू, a प्लस आई बी, a माइनस आई बी के स्क्वायर. तो यहाँ देखिए, बिकॉज आई वॉन्टेड टू कैलकुलेट साई स्टार साई, नॉट साई साई स्टार, तो a माइनस आई बी पहले, a प्लस आई बी बाद में. If you will multiply the two, you will get a square minus I square b square minus I square itself negative. So this negative sign becomes positive. You have a square plus b square. Okay. So the real quantity square gives you psi square. And we will try to find out psi as well as psi dash square. अब ये psi कोई भी ऐसा वैसा function नहीं होगा. It has to be a particular type of a function. Okay. So when it has to be a particular type of a function, there are a few properties which we should deal with for analyzing the wave function which would describe the quantum mechanics of the particle. So the very first thing is that not all wave functions can be analyzed in quantum mechanics. There are certain properties which psi should satisfy. The very first is that if the particle does not exist, so if you are using a notation psi in order to represent a particle and that particle does not exist in entire universe, तो the probability that you will be able to find that particle will be zero. जो exist नहीं करता है उसकी probability of finding should be zero. तो ये mathematically हमें पता चला कि from minus infinity to plus infinity, if I try to find out the probability over entire volume of universe, I don't know what is the volume of universe, लेकिन मैंने minus infinity to plus infinity ले लिया. It means we even don't know infinity क्या होती है. So entire universe में if I am not going to find that particle because that particle does not exist, then this particular equation 1 should be valid. And if particle exists, it means there is a probability that you will find that particle in the entire universe या boundary is concerned बोले, then the probability should be 1. So if it exists, then the probability should be 1. If it does not exist, then the probability should be 0. So the above equation 2 which we have is a direct consequence of the total probability. The total probability of anything with all its outcomes taken together should be equals to 1. So if it exists or not exist, it should be 1. If it does not exist, then definitely the probability has to be 0. If it exists, then definitely the probability entire universe में find करने की should be 1. Okay. And if you have a condition like that, the modulus square and the volume integral over the entire universe equals to 1, then such a wave function is called as normalized. अगर normalized नहीं है तो अगर acceptable है तो wave function normalize किया जा सकता है. अब यहाँ पे आया every acceptable wave function can be normalized. We have to check that what type of the wave function are acceptable. तो ये तो दो properties हुई कि अगर particle नहीं exist करता है तो उसका volume of the probability density should be 0. अगर exist करता है then the volume of the probability density should be 1. But how you are going to say that this psi is acceptable and the other psi is not? So that you can find in the other slide. So the properties of wave function should also be that psi must be well behaved. उसको अच्छे से व्यवहार करना आना चाहिए. So by well behave what I mean is, so I'm using the word well behaved because I can ask in exam, what do you mean by a well behaved wave function? So a well behaved wave function is a function psi which must be continuous and single valued everywhere. You know what is the meaning of continuous, the smooth varying function. Single valued का मतलब है अगर let's say this psi is function of some x, तो x equals to 1 पे this psi should have only one value. तो फंक्शन की डेफिनेशन होगी, अदरवाइज तो फंक्शन ही नहीं रहेगा अगर इसकी एक से ज्यादा वैल्यूज हो गई तो. सो साई मस्ट बी कंटिन्यूअस एंड सिंगल वैल्यू, पहली चीज. दूसरी ये दैट द फर्स्ट डेरिवेटिव विद रिस्पेक्ट टू पोजीशन एज वेल एज टाइम, बट वी आर ओनली कंसर्न विद रिस्पेक्ट टू पोजीशन, मस्ट एग्जिस्ट. यानी पहला डेरिवेटिव शुड एग्जिस्ट, ऑल्दो इट कैन बी इक्वल टू 0 बट इट शुड एग्जिस्ट. पता होना चाहिए इसकी वैल्यू एग्जैक्टली क्या है, 0 भी चलेगा बट इट शुड एग्जिस्ट. द फर्स्ट डेरिवेटिव ऑफ wave function with respect to x, y and z should be continuous and single valued. ये continuous और single valued क्यों होने चाहिए? That you will get to know when we will do Schrodinger's equation, because we will again try to take a derivative of it with respect to position coordinates. So you can take derivative of a function which is continuous and single valued only. Okay, so the derivative of the wave function with respect to the position coordinates should also exist and should be continuous and single valued. Another important thing is, which comes from the total probability, that your psi must be normalizable. Normalizable हम इसलिए ले रहे हैं that, for example, if your position coordinates expand to infinity, let's say plus infinity to minus infinity, तो आपका जो psi है at infinity should not be there. At infinity your psi should tend to 0. तो आपके पास एक boundedness आ गई. क्या boundedness आ गई? That your function is not equals to infinity anywhere. कंटिन्यूअस और सिंगल वैल्यूड है जिसकी वैल्यू इन्फिनिटी भी नहीं होनी चाहिए. सो विद इन द बाउंड्रीज योर फंक्शन शुड बी फाइनाइट, एंड अगर आप ऑन द कॉर्नर्स ऑफ द बाउंड्रीज जाएं देन योर फंक्शन शुड नॉट एग्जिस्ट, इट शुड बी 0. सो दीज आर द 3 प्रॉपर्टीज विच यू शुड टेक इनटू अकाउंट. सो आप इनके नोट्स ले लीजिए, आई विल डेफिनेटली शेयर द स्लाइड्स विद यू. और जब आपके पास ये तीनों चारों प्रॉपर्टीज आपको पता चल जाएं दैट इफ द पार्टिकल डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट then equation 1 should hold true. If particle exists in entire universe, then equation 2 should hold true. And in addition, for psi must be continuous and single valued. First derivative with respect to the position coordinate must exist, should be continuous and single valued. Psi must be normalizable. Normalizable मतलब ये वाली condition true होनी चाहिए, या फिर जैसे जैसे आप infinite boundaries पर जाएं तो psi की वैल्यू कम होती जानी चाहिए. और जब साई ये सारी कंडीशन फुलफिल कर दे, इन सारी कसौटी पर खरा उतरने के बाद, मतलब ये सारी कंडीशन फुलफिल करने के बाद, व्हाट यू ऑल हैव टू डू इज किसी पर्टिकुलर गिवन बाउंड्री x1 से लेकर x2 तक मॉड साई स्क्वायर निकालना है आपको. अगर ये 1 डायमेंशनल है तो 2 डायमेंशनल है तो आप जानते हैं कि यू विल हैव टू यूज सरफेस इंटीग्रल और वॉल्यूम इंटीग्रल यूज करेंगे if it is 3 डायमेंशनल. सो दिस इज द ओनली थिंग विच यू हैव टू डू इन क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स. ठीक है, so this perhaps completes the introduction of quantum mechanics. Now we will move on to the wave equation, which we have already done. So because Schrodinger's equation is a form of wave equation and is fundamental equation in quantum mechanics. जैसे न्यूटोनियन मैकेनिक्स में हम F is equals to ma पढ़ते हैं, force equals to mass times acceleration, या force equals to rate of change of momentum. Similarly, Schrodinger's equation is a fundamental equation in quantum mechanics. और क्योंकि श्रोडिंगर इक्वेशन वेव इक्वेशन है तो पहले वेव इक्वेशन को समझ लेते हैं. मैथमेटिकली आपने लास्ट सेमेस्टर पढ़ा था, इफ अ वेव इक्वेशन इज गिवन लाइक दिस, दैट डेल स्क्वायर साई बाय डेल एक्स स्क्वायर इज इक्वल्स टू 1 अपॉन वी स्क्वायर डेल स्क्वायर साई बाय डेल टी स्क्वायर, या वाई हम मान लें कि वाई रिप्रेजेंट्स द टाइप ऑफ अ वेव विच इज प्रोपेगेटिंग इन पोजीशन propagating in x direction with some value. So you have this equation, you know that this is called as a wave equation. You have double derivative of x, इसीलिए हमने यहाँ पे देखिए, because we will have to calculate the double derivative with respect to position coordinates, the first derivative with respect to position coordinate has to be continuous, otherwise derivative नहीं exist करेगा. 1 upon v square del square psi by del t square, this is the wave equation. और इसके कुछ solutions हमने पढ़े थे are of this form: a equals to e I omega t minus x upon v, a या y is equals to a cos omega t minus x upon v, I sin a cos omega t minus x upon v. Such a type of solution to the wave equation we have already done in our last semester, perhaps in the unit 1. And from here, most probably and most importantly, this type of solution, a e to the power minus I omega t minus x upon v, I'm very sorry, this should be t minus x upon v, there should be a small gap in between. So यहाँ से हम देखेंगे कि कैसे we can come on to the Schrodinger's time dependent equation, and then when we will understand the Schrodinger's time dependent equation, we will in that lecture itself try to understand the linearity and superposition, the expectation values, as well as the operators. So in the next lecture we will try to cover the other topics like this. In case you have any queries or doubt, you can definitely drop me a WhatsApp message or call me directly. Okay, so this is all about what we were doing in quantum mechanics. Hope you will take into account the lecture and you will watch it, and in case you have any doubt or query, you will ask the queries right at that particular time. Thank you so much all of you. See you next time.